Hello, and welcome to The Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Each week, they bring you conversations with local Christian businesses and business owners. The Experience Local is brought to you each week by wonderful sponsors.
Copper Rock Real Estate. Commercial and residential real estate in the Mid-Willamette Valley. CopperRockRealty.com. Independent Merchant Brokers. Low-cost and no-cost debit and credit card processing. 877-460-4747. IndependentMerchantBrokers.com. Join Boson Hub Digital Development in supporting Kicking Cancer. Kicking Cancer provides support, education, and resources for cancer patients, survivors, and families. Kicking-cancer.org. More than just a home, the Arbor at Avamere Court in Kaiser. Arbor at AvamereCourt.com. Assisted living at Avamere at Albany. Avamere at Albany.com. Gina Deffa-White, Country Financial District Leader for the Willamette Valley area, is actively hiring financial advisors and insurance agents. Call Gina at 503-375-9670.
And now, your hosts for The Experience Local, Russ and Scott.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. We are so local live with Russ and Scott. I got to say the right thing here. We are local and ready for an amazing new week. Right, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun, Russ, to hang out with you and, again, talk to the most remarkable people on the planet. Today's guest we're going to have fun with and learn. One of the things that we often talk about on The Experience Local and The Experience Live with Russ and Scott on Wednesdays is coaching and the value of coaching and why we need that. So we're going to learn more about that today.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we are so blessed with people of such great value, like Kristen Wilson, who's going to be with us today. People who love the Lord and who are so family oriented and so community oriented. The whole organization that Kristen is part of is amazing. I'm not going to give it all away, but she's just an amazing individual. Her husband is an amazing friend of mine. In fact, Scott, we tell the story often about how you encouraged me and led me to do what I'm doing. And Ever, who is amazing in the background, doing so many great things for our show, who we love. The other person who I consulted with and that really has been a mentor to me as well on that whole decision was Lionel Wilson. So it was you and Lionel that I made those phone calls to, and you both told me exactly the same thing. Thus is why I have Ever working for me today, or actually working with me. She probably does more than I do, but yeah.
It's funny because the term, so just so folks know, Ever does a lot of the background work, creates graphics, does a lot of the postings, and she resides in the Philippines. And the common term is VA, or virtual assistant. And in referring to Ever, I have removed virtual from that. She is not a VA. She's not virtual. No, she is real. She is a real assistant. And so I've just removed that from my vocabulary because she's a team member.
She is. I call her, that's it, TM. She's a team member. She is the person, because honestly, if you were to break down the amount of work, she does more than I do. And I appreciate everything that she does. So, but you know what? And she also loves the Lord, which is an amazing thing. But we're talking about local people today. No matter where you are today, no matter what your local area is. I'm local here in the Willamette Valley. We focus on that. We also broadcast on the Experience Radio Network, which is local in Albany and Salem. But Scott also resides in the local area of Waco, Texas. So it depends where you are. We encourage you to focus on your local economy, your local connections, your local business. And we're going to do exactly that today with Kristen Wilson. But before we get to that, Scott, I want to remind everybody that we love this community. We love being part of it. And I want to make sure that all the people that are in our community see what's going on. So please share this. Tag your friends if you're watching live with us today. We'd really appreciate that. Also, I want to tell you, if you want more information about this today, you can actually go to local.theexperience.video. And you get more information today about Scott and I, about all of our shows, about what we both do, and more about this and the Experience Radio Network. We would love for you to join on YouTube and be part of our YouTube community. It's growing. And you can also go to the experience.video directly and go there today. You'll find that my pets are more popular than Scott and I, because YouTube Shorts, they're rocking it. But anyway, no, we hope you become part of that today, because we have a lot of fun and all of our shows are there. And Scott, any other words of wisdom before we get Kristen in?
Yeah. So coming up next week, Christine and I will be up in Dallas for much of the week at the Texas Library Association. And Christine's got her books, The 52 Aspects of Aging, a prompted journal, and then the Care Grievers Kit. She'll be promoting that. I'll be there talking about my book, Networking for Students. And so this is a book that provides brain science around how we connect, gives students a structure on what do they actually do when they go to networking events, and then a layout of what their network should look like, who would be involved. And I will just say, one of the regrets that I had from school, Russ, when we were at Oregon State University, and even back when I was in high school, I did not stay in contact with my coaches and those teachers who poured into my life. And I encourage students to do that. And this is a good time to do it. And so for people that have students that are graduating, or people that are parents, grandparents, teachers, this is a great book to give your students something that they will use for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I highly, highly recommend it. And Scott is amazing at networking, connecting. And, he and I, we just are birds of a feather, right? We just love people. And we're so thankful that you're here today and being part of that. And you know what I want to remind everybody, Scott, just one more quick thing before we get Kristen in the room. And that is that coming up this Wednesday, part of the experience, we have the 200th episode of our original flagship show, The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. And it will be there. And actually, one of the members of the Keller Williams Mid-Willamette, the Gillott Home Team, is one of the sponsors of that show. So, so thankful for that. So anyway, okay, you ready to get Kristen
all this
in?
month, we're celebrating 1 year of the Experience Local with fabulous guests like Kristen Wilson. So bring her on in. Let's get to the good part of the show.
Let's do that. Thanks for reminding me of that. So everybody, drum roll. Brrr, Kristen Wilson. Woohoo!
Hey, Kristen.
Hey, happy 1 year anniversary.
Thank you. We are very excited about, March has been the month for Scott and I. I celebrated 500 on my first live stream marketing with Russ, 200 on the experience, 1 year on this show. And also we celebrated 3 years on our experience backstage show on Instagram. So it's been quite a month of celebration.
That's a pattern. The month of launching. Yeah. I love it.
That's for sure. For sure. But Kristen, listen, such a blessing to have you here. Give everybody a little insight. Who in the world is Kristen Wilson and what are you up to?
Okay, well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited and honored to be here with you guys today. I am married to my husband, Lionel Wilson. We are going to be going on 36 years in tomorrow. Tomorrow's our anniversary. So, and we have 4 kids, 3 of whom are married. We just saw our 6th grandbaby born into the world this weekend. So I have 6 grandchildren, and in my full-time work, I am one of the owners of Keller Williams Realty Mid-Willamette here in the Valley, and that is Corvallis, Albany, Lebanon, Sweet Home. We're all one company, 4 or 5 locations, and I am what's called the operating principal managing broker there. Overseeing the company there. And then I'm also a MAPS coach with Keller Williams Realty International. And what that means is I coach agents for our company, our corporate company, all over the country and in Canada. So I have 23 one-on-one coaching clients that I coach with every week to help improve their lives to improve their businesses, right? And as we know, it's all an inside job, right? As we say in our company, it's an inside job. Everything that we do in life reflects our internal spirit, our internal growth, our internal relationship with God, and our beliefs and our faith and our core values. So what we do at MAPS is we coach to the whole person, right? So that could be whatever is the next season in their life to move forward. Sometimes when we're working on hitting big goals or creating a big business, or just doing everyday life, we have things that get in our way. And as a coach, we can come alongside them. We can first of all, see things maybe they don't see. Like one of the things that I do a lot is just help people connect the dots, see their own patterns, raise awareness. And then when those things are present, then we can work through that and remove those obstacles so that they can experience the life that they have the vision for.
So when we first got on and you were in the green room, we're both in the green room, I commented on your bookshelf in the back. Yes. So there's a lot of ways to organize things, right? Books can be by subject, alphabetical, date of publication. Tell me about the bookcase that you have there, and then continue on to how people identify themselves as needing coaching.
That's a good question. Well, first of all, I, as a real estate agent myself, right, we've been selling real estate since, Lionel got licensed in 2005, and I joined him a little bit later. At the time, I was at the country club, Corvallis Country Club, doing marketing and sales. I worked there first, but he got in real estate about 2005. So pretty much 20 years of our life has been around real estate. And if you know real estate, staging, we're always looking at that aesthetically pleasing, design or staging concept. So for me, the color codedness is just a piece of that. As realtors, sometimes we're cursed to say, we always want our house to feel staged, but it never does. So, we're just, real estate agents that's how we live. So that's what it is. And then how do people decide or discover? Is that what you asked, Scott?
Yeah. How do they kind of self-decide or discover? Okay. What is it that triggers people to say, wow, I need to reach out to Kristen. I need to get some coaching?
It's a good question. When I decided to get a coach, I realized that, first of all, that there was a lot of things about being in business that were not my strengths. That I got into real estate because I was good with people, honestly, and it's a people business, and I love people. But there were going to be a lot of things about going forward in business that I could use help with. So I got a coach. But I'll tell you why most people get into coaching with MAPS, and what we experience is that at some point someone realizes that maybe they're not living up to their full potential, or maybe there's people that they can bring around them that can help them get to the next level or hit that goal or break through a ceiling, right? You hear that word thrown around, like people think that there's a ceiling over them. But honestly, as a coach and dealing with not just being a coach I've been coaching for 8 years, but actually longer than that. And I've been a mentor and a discipler for 30 plus years, right? And what I learned over those years is that ceilings are just, they're all perspective of the person that has it, right? In fact, there's no ceiling over us in that we haven't allowed or created or have something in our life that we could break through that could remove it. No other human being can force us to have a ceiling over us, right? So that's where people discover when they come to that awareness that, hey, they want to break through a ceiling. They need some breakthrough in their life, right? They're ready to do some inside work to see some outside results, right? Or they just know that to get to that next level, they're going to become a different person, and that coach can see and help with the patterns and the things and the obstacles in their life and help them get those out of their way. So,
well, I just love what you and your husband Lionel are all about, and you are just about loving people and helping people, and I want to talk a little bit about the connection and community that Keller Williams Mid-Willamette is like top shelf as far as the things you guys do. The things you guys reach out, like Red Day, reaching out to the community and doing service. Like, I mean, Laura Gillott, who's part of the Keller Williams Mid-Willamette and her community, is a good example within your organization. There's a lot of this all the way around. I mean, Sue Long, all the people in your organization do so many great things, but the kind of things like she does in Lebanon for people, just always involved. And Keller Williams Mid-Willamette is that way so much. So talk a little bit about that overall, about the reaching out and the just really connecting to the community and helping people.
Yeah. We have something that in our company that we call Red Day that we started, I think it was in 2004 or 2005. I can't remember now, but it's been 20 plus years. And that is our entire company shuts down and we do a day of service to the community. And locally, like this year, we'll be back at the Trillium Family Services, which a lot of people lovingly call the farm home over on Highway 20. But we locally, we choose somebody to support or help or, do work days at. We've been part of, helping just direct families in our community to doing big organizations, doing food drives or raising money for like the Sunshine House or Love Inc. We've done a lot of like service to, Fish and Chance and some of these community outreach programs that don't have a lot of funding. And so, we just shut down as a company and we give back because we believe in give where you live, right? We work, live, and play in the area that we serve, right? And so we believe in giving where we live, and it's top down in our company. It's part of our company culture. Our company's mission is God, family, then business, right? And so when we put our priorities in that order, right, we're going to be serving because we serve a God who serves and loves us and teaches us that, right? And so service is a big, high part of our culture. And honestly, I tried to make a list at one point, but there's literally hundreds and hundreds of ways that our 100+ agents are giving back to the community every day. So we like to say Red Day is just a shining example of that, what our agents do year round, giving back to the community.
I love the give where you live. That really resonates. And this motto of God, family, and business. When I was in high school playing football at Corvallis High School, Chuck Solberg was our coach. And the very first day of practice, he's got everybody up there. I'm a little freshman, right? But he's got the whole team from freshmen up to seniors there in those old wooden bleachers at the old Corvallis Stadium. And he says, your priorities are God, family, school, football, right? And laying it out. And that really, obviously, it stuck with me through these years. And tell me how that helps you in recruiting people that fit the culture of Keller Williams Mid-Willamette.
Yeah, that's a good question. When we talk about God, family, business, we like to make sure that people know that it's not exclusive, it's all inclusive, in that what we're looking at when we're recruiting, we're talking about people that are a fit for our company, is that we have a values alignment, right? And that priorities of God, family, business, or faith, family, business, right? Whatever their faith represents. For me, it's Christian. I am a Christian, and Jesus is my Savior, right? But we're a company, and so that might not be the same for everyone, right? So we let people know, right? It's not exclusive; it's completely inclusive, whatever their faith is. But that we do have values, and we have a whole value system that's what we're looking for when we're looking at people, right? That they're going to be, believing in similar values of family and how we treat each other, and having integrity and doing the right thing, and seeking first to understand our belief system. So, yeah.
And Russ will listen to you.
I love that.
Unmuted there. So there we
I'm
go.
back. There we go. I love that because you guys are so amazingly focused on the Lord and all that you're doing. And I love that God first in your values, what you're all about. But also you're really big. I mean, there are so many families that are involved. Part of your family, not only your husband, but part of your family is involved in real estate. Talk a little bit about that and how important that is, because it helps you come together as a family and work together. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, we are so grateful for that. I think real estate is a great opportunity for anyone who is looking for a great career that you basically learn everything in, right? Like you want to get a hands-on course in running a business and being a business owner. Just get into real estate. It's great. But we're grateful that we're in a business that we can incorporate our families and work with our families, and that we're raising our kids up in a corporation that does have such high, strong values, and they're learning from that and learning from other people in our company that just reinforce those values. And so, all across our company, we are the largest real estate company in the world. And we have about 160,000 agents worldwide. And it is a very strong theme. There are very, very many multi-generational businesses within Keller Williams. And, you mentioned the Gillott team, like there's lots of family members on that team. Sue Long, in the business with her son and her husband as a partner. Myself and Lionel work together as a couple. And now all of our kids are in business in real estate. And it's just wonderful to foster young people up into this great company.
Yes.
Well,
go ahead, Scott.
Russ. Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, this is one of the things too about your industry is it's got a lot of regulations and a lot of moving parts.
Yes.
And I remember talking to a friend that was in real estate and said, we volunteer until the signing, till you actually sign. So let's talk about the career aspect. When is a good time to be involved and get started if someone's interested in being involved in real estate and coming and seeing you and maybe asking questions?
Yeah. I mean, the best time would have been 20 years ago, right? I mean, what is that old adage, right? Best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. Second best time is today, right? I just think if somebody has ever thought or dreamed of, or even, just think, oh gosh, I'm curious, or I've always thought about real estate, call us today. Don't wait. Just push that hesitation off your lap and, get on the phone or stop by one of our offices. But, one of the things that we do well is we help people get a jump start in their real estate career. We've got a great training program. We've got coaches on staff. We've got a great team that helps that we come around to support them. And unlike a lot of the new brokerages that have popped up since the pandemic, we're still very hands-on. We're still very in the office. We're still very people there to support people. And so, come by and see us, and we love to help people get started in their career.
Well, I love that. And you guys are totally people oriented. I remember when I first started coming to meetings at Keller Williams that were really meant for people and businesses in the community that were integrated with Keller Williams and all that they were doing. And I loved it. I came every week. This is where Lionel and I, your husband and I, became great friends. And then you and I became great friends. And it was just such an amazing organization. I just love it. So, okay, so as we're starting the wrap up, I've got to be the responsible host here and start moving you that direction. But I want you to give everybody, out of our discussion today, what is really your gold nugget of the day? What do you want people to remember about today's conversation? And if you could tell everybody how they get in touch with you, whether it's just to communicate with you individually or to become part of the team.
Okay. I would say, if you're going to take away one thing today, that wherever you're at in life, whatever you're doing, if you're wanting to make the next step, or hit a new goal, or start a new career, or move into real estate, surround yourself with people, and maybe that is a coach that can really walk you through it, and maybe who's been a little bit ahead of you in the process, right? And so I firmly believe in coaching, and I believe that when people hire a coach or work with a coach in any area of their life, right, whether that be a sport, health goals, business, personal, mental, right, whatever that is, you're really truly putting investment in becoming and hitting your full potential. So that's the takeaway. Then that's the most I could say. Now, if they're looking to get a hold of me, I am at Keller Williams Realty Mid-Willamette. We have Facebook page. I'm on Instagram. My name, Kristen Wilson. That's a great way to get a hold of me. And yeah, reach out, come by the brokerage.
Perfect. Well, we got a bunch of your contact information in there as well, and we'll include some of the Keller Williams Mid-Willamette information in there as well. But really want to encourage people, reach out to Kristen, because she is an amazing resource. And Kristen, I tell you, it's such a blessing. You and your husband are such a blessing to me and the whole organization. And I just want to thank you for being you and be willing to come on today and have a little conversation with us.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure speaking with you, Russ. Great to meet you, Scott. I'm grateful for you guys to invite me on today, and I'm grateful for what you guys are doing. Right?
Well, we appreciate that, and I did my staging today, so you get my little got my picture. I took that one specifically for my OCD friends, because we were at I think that's actually at the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company in Anaheim. And everything was lined up so well. I thought, yeah, that's
very good.
That's a good picture for my OCD friends. So there you go.
And it's also Keller Williams colors there with the red.
It
there
is.
In the back.
It is, right? Isn't it? Yeah.
Very good. So good. All right, Kristen, thank you. We're going to put you in the green room and say goodbye, but hang tight. We'll be with you in just a minute.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Wow, I tell you, Kristen's amazing. She is, and I'm telling you, anybody, number one. Her coaching is amazing. She's been under so many just top-notch coaches, her and her husband Lionel, and just what great people of integrity. They're just awesome.
And I think this whole thing with discipleship, and this is benefits when we're talking to believers in business here on the Experience Local, and talking to Kristen today, her faith comes through her work, but discipling people in following Jesus. And this is the great command that we have, makes a direct translation. And so many things that we learn in the Bible have direct translation to the practical day-to-day living aspects of our lives. And so discipling people translates right into coaching people, integrating your faith. What great inspiration we got today from Kristen.
Oh my goodness, for sure. And I just want to thank everybody for being here today and remind you, we're here every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time and 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. That's right. This converts to audio podcast, also broadcast on the Experience Radio Network. So many great opportunities. And also, while we have you here, I want to remind you this coming Wednesday is our 200th episode of the Experience Live with Russ and Scott, our flagship show. And so don't miss that at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. This is 1 year celebrating this show, and we are so thankful for the opportunity to talk to believers in business. And Scott, I just tell you, this has been such a pleasure to be able to lift up Jesus and talk to amazing people every week. And to have you here with me, my friend.
And thank you to our sponsors who make all of this possible for this show, for Backstage, and for the Experience on Wednesday as well. So it's just great to have that support, the community support.
It is. It's so great. And we're so thankful for everybody. And so for today, we're going to say goodbye, but it's so great to have you all here with us today. And until next time, we're just going to say, enjoy life and enjoy
the experience locally.
There you go.
Thank you for tuning in to The Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next time on The Experience Local with Russ and Scott.